talked, remember when he had the blank slate against Belleville, as a late hit here against Scott Morrow, and that's Maggio. The Islanders are trying their best to play Rocky Thompson hockey here and get under the skin of the Wolfpack as Jeffries has jumped the Wolfpack player in the left wing corner. And with the Undertaker's theme going, the Islanders just want a pound of flesh. They have no interest right now in playing hockey.
Look at Sikora fighting back on Jeffries. Slams him down to the ice.
Dangerous play. Brisson was just fired down into the boards. He was off balance. Mitchell's got a Wolfpack player. He's tied up with Jordan Decker, just watching it happen. Jeffries wrestling in the left wing corner. Fix-Wolansky in there with Berg. The officials got to get in there. They're just standing there and watching. They got to get in here. It was Moore and Mitchell who were wrestling each other. Matthew Maggio's got to take a penalty here, shot. That whistle had went, and he went right to hit Scott Morrow. He knew what he was doing, and we'll see if there's a penalty here. The Islanders have gotten the directive, no doubt about it, to stir the pot here in the third period. They're down by 5. They've been embarrassed here through 40 minutes tonight, and their entire line's going to the penalty box, and rightfully so.
It's going to be a standing room only. That Isles box for sure.
4 in the Hartford box, 5 in the Bridgeport box. And look, I get it. You want to show a little bit of fight. But I mean, that from Maggio, it's well after the whistle. They're trying to drag Hartford into the mud. They've been trying since the end of the second period here. And eventually, in a 5-0 game, this is just waiting to become a powder keg.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you got to wonder when the officials are going to say, okay, here come the 10s, boys.
Yeah, I mean,
this result is not in question anymore.
And against a team that's a new look team this year. This is not the Bridgeport Islanders of years past. It's a much improved team, a team that plays with a lot of grit, and this is a real big statement made tonight.
Here we go again as Martin will cover it up, and Hunter Drew, who's been looking all night long for a fight, is mixing it up. With 10:10 to go in regulation time, this is our first media timeout. Drew trying to get free on Dorrington, and here we go. Dorrington and Drew were tied up. Linesman trying to get in there.
Drew took a swing at Martin. I think Martin had his stick inadvertently in there, and he's just punching over the linesman. What is he doing?
Dorrington gets it back with the right, and Drew just tossed away the linesman. That might get Drew a suspension. Drew with a right, and he wrestles Dorrington down. You know, I know it wasn't a lot, Sean, but he just shoved the linesman out of the way. You can't do that. And now Drew wants to go with Martin. He is unhinged. Hunter Drew is unhinged. That's got to be supplemental discipline. That's gutless from Hunter Drew. And now Martin's fired away with rights, and Hogberg wants nothing to do with it. The Islander bench just pointed at Hogberg, and he shook his head, no thank you. And good on Spencer Martin. That was gutless from Hunter Drew to go after the goaltender. And he's going to get a chorus of boos. And he can knock down the Wolfpack bench all he wants. And Spencer Martin wants to know, are you not entertained? I mean, there's no way that Drew can survive and play tomorrow night after that.
No.
That's ridiculous on his part.
You chuck a linesman into the net to fight Dorrington. So what happened was, him and Dorrington were tangled up right in the crease there, and Martin, who has been talking to Drew quite a bit this game, they've had a couple of arguments after the whistle. I think just a little gamesmanship, kind of had his stick in there, trying to trip him up perhaps. Drew didn't like it, and he certainly remembered it once he was done with Dorrington. As you see there in the replay, he tried to take a swing at Martin, and Dorrington just kind of pushed him away. And here's the push-off that you're talking about, Alex, as it happens here in a moment.
We're going to step aside.
You can't do that.
You can't do that, and then you can't
it's nothing egregious on the linesman there, but you can't do that. I'm not sure what he's thinking there. I know you might be seeing red at this point in the game. It's a rivalry matchup. You're trying to find something that can take you into this.
Yeah, we're going to break this down further. We're going to step aside here real quick. The Wolfpack up by 6.